Salut, year 8 et bienvenue au cours pour aujourd'hui. Right guys, great to have you with me today. This lesson is actually the final lesson of year 9 module 1. We've covered so much during lockdown, and that means next week we will be doing the assessment for year 9 module 1, and as it's a year 9 assessment, it is at a higher level than every other year 8 in the country will really look at. But you've all been brilliant this year, and your grades and your efforts exceptional, particularly during lockdown. So this is nothing you can't handle. But today's lesson is really important because I've got that assessment in mind, and I want to give you as much help as you can. So today is all about using and practicing our music vocabulary. Last lesson we looked at music, we went through the words for music. We're going to test you on that today, but that's only part of it, because to get the top marks in year 9 you have to show the GCSE skill of recognizing and using our 3 tenses. Now we've done all these 3 tenses, so you do know them or you have seen them. We're going to be testing you on this as well today, because in the reading and the listening assessment next time, you'll need to be able to recognize it. So that's what it's all about. That assessment goes all the way up to a grade 5, which is well above where a year 8 should be, but some of you will definitely be pushing for that 5 next lesson. So big lesson today. Let's talk about music. Je vais expliquer un peu plus maintenant. Alors donc, vous savez ce qu'il faut faire. S'il vous plaît, inventez la date. Je n'ai pas écrit la date parce que j'ai des classes différentes sur les genres différents. Et copiez le titre du genre dans vos cahiers. Et le contrôle de Postit aujourd'hui, c'est ici. Attention, c'est dans le temps différent. Par exemple, I listen, c'est au présent. I listened. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut changer pour dire I listened en français? I'm going to listen. Présent, passé, futur. Comment faire ça? This is what we're looking at today. Et 4, 5, 6, a few classics. Put me on pause, see what you can do. When you want the answers for our post-it note starter, restart me and I'll tell you a bit more about the lesson and get going. Bon courage. Put me on pause now. On y va. Hello, mes petits. Right, guys, if you're hearing me now, you're ready for our post-it note challenge. How many did you get today? I know these are tough. Let's go through them. This is what it's all about. Using our 3 tenses and then looking at these phrases to develop. This is what I want to see in your assessment coming up. So let's go through it. The first one, I listen. The verb to listen is écouter. So you just need to change it for our 3 tenses. I listen is j'écoute. So I've taken the ER, chopped it off, and then followed my present tense pattern like we did in year 7. J'écoute. I listened is in the past tense. Now you have to have 2 bits for the past. You have to have the, and then we change the ER to, so you should have j'ai écouté. You need both parts. Remember, you have to have the have, and then we've got the E with the accent. All right, so as I listen, I have listened. To put it in the future, you need our verb aller, to go, and then you need to say 2 verbs. You need an infinitive, so you need je vais écouter. Literally, I am going to listen. Remember, if you've got 2 verbs together, you don't change the second one. It should have an ER, IR, or RE on the end. This is the future. Je vais écouter is what you need. Right, guys, if you've got those first 3, you're going to do really well today. If you haven't, don't worry. You know the difference to them now, and I've explained them. You know the difference between these verbs. Step 1 for today and for your assessment next week is to recognize when we're talking in present, past, and future. This is one of the big things we're going to do today when we're doing your text analysis for our objective. Then, numéro 4. That makes me, cela me rend. You use it with an emotion. Remember, we've talked about this for GCSE. It's not just about saying je pense que c'est fantastique or something like that. That is rubbish. Tell me your emotion. Cela me rend content. Cela me rend triste. Cela me rend de bonne humeur. This is what to get a really good mark. Same as numéro 5. Cela me rend goes with an emotion, but if you want to say it makes me want to sing, dance, cry, kill, murder, you'll need this. Cela me donne envie de, which literally means this me gives envy of, where it makes me want to. Cela me donne envie de danser. Cela me donne envie de chanter. C'est tu it's comme ça. This is all you need. And then finally, I went. This is in the past tense, but it's an irregular. You've got to know it. It is je suis allé. So important you remember that phrase. You'll all use it in your GCSE. This is what you need. Right, guys, a really good effort on our contrôle de Postit. We're going to blitz through your vocab for music. we're going to do a vocab test, and then we're going to get onto this text analysis, because yes, we're talking about music, but what I really want you to do today is identify and understand these 3 tenses. This is what it's all about for your assessment. This is what I need to have a look for. Donc, ça c'est ce qu'on va faire aujourd'hui. On y va. Alors mes petits, we're going to start with a contrôle de vocabulaire. Mais avant ça, je pense qu'il serait bien si on faisait un peu de révision. Donc, ici, j'ai les 15 mots qu'on a appris le cours dernier. Ici en français, ici en anglais, vous savez ce qu'il faut faire. Donc, en utilisant vu portable, comme un portable maintenant, il faut faire un minuteur, non pardon, un chronomètre. Voilà, right, I've got my stopwatch function on my phone. I'm going to see how quickly I can do this. Let me give you an example of how to do this. Like, watch and learn, you're right. Alors, ready, and allez, j'ai m'écouté. Alors, listen, je suis méga fan de ma master fan, je trouve ce genre, I find this genre, à mon avis, in my opinion, si je consider la musique, if I consider music, I did that in 7 seconds. So, I say 21 seconds overall, all the way to the end. Can you better that? Obviously not, you're too stupid. So this is what I want you to do. Put me on pause. Make sure you're prepared for this. Have a little go, like make sure you know what's what. You can even look things up at this stage to check. Then restart the video. I'll count you down. Put me on pause and start your timer. See what you can do. I can do it in 21 seconds, obviously, just showing an example. If you can do it in under 40 seconds, I'll be really happy because I'm easily twice as clever as you, so that'll be about even. So put me on pause, prepare yourselves, restart me for the countdown. Allez, mes petits, right guys, so put me on pause when I say allez, good luck, 3, 2, 1, allez! Alors mes petits, right guys, well done on the first slide. So this time c'est plus compliqué parce que j'ai changé l'ordre. Cette fois c'est anglais, français, anglais, français. No preparation this time. You've had that time to prepare. You've got to go for it. I'll give you a quick example to set the standard. So on my phone, I'm just going back. I'm going to effacer. All right, I'm ready with my chronomètre, and this is how it goes. Check this out. 3, 2, 1. Allez, in my opinion, à mon avis, I'm a massive fan. Je suis méga fan de I like listen to, j'aime écouter. I find this style, je trouve ce style. Genre, if I consider music, si je considère la musique. There you go, 7 seconds again, 7.41. Impressive. Right, guys, how quickly can you do it? No preparing, you just gotta go for it. So put your stopwatch on 0, get ready, I'll count you down, then put this video on pause, start your timer and go for it. Bon courage. 3, 2, 1, allez! Alors mes petits, final round, you know how this goes. Alors cette fois, j'ai pris les lettres, donc vous avez les phrases qui ne sont pas complètes. C'est la même activité, il faut dire français. Pardon, anglais, français, anglais, français, anglais, français. Par exemple, in my opinion, à mon avis, I'm a massive fan, je suis méga fan de la listen, si j'aime écouter, à fin de stage, je tue ce genre, if I consider music, si je considère la musique. Alright, it's a bit tougher today. I'll count you down. No preparation. Start your timer now. And 3, 2, 1. Put me on pause. Allez. Et voilà, mes petits. Right, guys, a really good effort on our verbal volleyball today. Stressful, that activity. So, hopefully, you've had a revision of last lesson's vocab, so you are ready for our vocab test. Now, if you don't feel ready, if you struggled with verbal volleyball, when you go on the playlist, you've got last lesson, when you just look at the vocab again, get it in your head, have a practice, and then do this test. There's no cheating in that. You're at home for lockdown. It's all about developing your independence, finding out what works for you and you learning. So if you want to do that to improve your learning, then go for it. Guys, if you think you're ready for the challenge though, you've got a vocab test on your sheet that I've added to Frog. Je vais expliquer ce qu'il faut faire. Alors maintenant, aujourd'hui, 8, c'est la note d'admission. Note d'admission veut dire pass mark en anglais. 8, c'est la note d'admission. 10 ou plus, c'est très fort. 11 ou 12, ce sera formidable aujourd'hui. Alors donc, vous savez, il y a les différentes choses à faire. Pas question 1, 2 et 3. Voilà. Qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais? Il faut traduire. Tu aimes quel genre de musique? Qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais? don't answer the question, I want it in English. Comment dire, tu aimes quel genre de musique en anglais? Comment dire, pourquoi aimes-tu ce genre en anglais? Et numéro 4, 5, 6, 7 et 8, pour celui-ci, il faut compléter la phrase avec l'un des mots dans la boîte ici. Donc, choisissez un mot pour compléter les phrases. Qu'est-ce que c'est un? Je triste méga fan de R&B? Non, c'est pas ça, c'est not triste. Alors donc, complétez les phrases. Pour le défi additionnel, numéro 7, il parle de je. Il faut changer numéro 7 par elle. D'accord? Dans le week-end dernier, elle, with an S, comment changer le verbe? Ça, c'est très difficile. Attention, pour numéro 7 et numéro 8, il y a une différence entre le week-end dernier. Le week-end dernier, qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais? Et demain soir. Demain soir, qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais? Il y a une différence de temps. Passé, présent, futur. Attention pour 7 et 8. Alors, I'll give you, say 4 minutes for this. On your phone, set a timer for 4 minutes. Put me on pause now. After 4 minutes, restart the video and I'll go through the answers. Bon courage mes petits, vous avez 4 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Allez, on y va. Alors mes petits, right, if you're listening to me now, you're ready for our answers. If you're not ready, you pause and make sure you complete it. Alors, how did you go on? Let's have a look. 8 sera en bonne note aujourd'hui. C'est la note d'admission. 8, c'est le cible pour aujourd'hui. Si vous avez plus que 8, bon effort ici. Fantastique. Alors donc, on y va. Le premier, tu aimes quel genre de musique? Qu'est-ce que c'était en anglais? Ça veut dire what type of music do you like, or what style, or what genre of music do you like? All of that, j'accepterai. Numéro 2, pourquoi aimes-tu ce genre? C'est là que tu demandes. Why do you like this type of music? Or why do you like this style? Or why do you like this genre? Etc. Alors, numéro 3, it was actually on our post-it note starter. Ça me donne envie de veut dire that makes me want to, or except like it makes me feel like, or anything like that. All right, 3 marks for the first 3. This is alright, I think it was pretty straightforward, but now il sera beaucoup plus compliqué. Numéro 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, il fallait utiliser les mots ici pour compléter la phrase. Alors, numéro 4, je suis méga fan du R&B. Voilà, je suis méga fan, c'est ce qu'il faut. Donc, après avoir utilisé un mot, effacez les mots. Voilà. Numéro 5, je n'aime pas ce genre. Alors, donc, c'est négatif. Je trouve ce genre trop et... Alors, you can have these either way around. J'ai choisi les deux adjectifs négatifs ici. Je trouve ce genre trop agressif et triste. Triste et agressif, les deux marchent. Voilà. Alors, numéro 6. C'est mon genre de musique préféré. Donc, il faut utiliser les adjectifs positifs maintenant. Donc, c'est mon genre de musique préféré. Alors, c'est optimiste et normalement, j'utiliserai parce que ici. There is no parce que. So, what was the synonym we learned for parce que last time? Puisque. Voilà. Puisque means like since or because. So, it's my favorite type of music since it's optimistic and j'ai besoin de quelque chose de positif. Profound and it's deep or like well thought out. Voilà, donc on a utilisé puisque, on a utilisé profonde. Qu'est-ce qui reste? V, suis, aller, aller. Alors, numéro 7. Now I warned you about this. I told you. Qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais le week-end dernier? Qu'est-ce que c'est demain soir? Alors, numéro 7. Le week-end dernier en anglais veut dire last weekend. And if you're talking about last weekend, you're talking about the past tense. So you needed to say last weekend I went to a concert at Wembley. So how'd you say I went? C'est je suis allé. 1 mark for suis, 1 mark for aller. Je suis allé à un concert de rock. You can't have them the other way around. This is our past tense and that means demain soir, which means tomorrow night. This is the future tense. It's got to be je vais aller au concert de mon chanteur préféré. I'm going to go to a concert with my favorite singer. Guys, a really good effort here. Can you add up all the marks you've got? Give yourself a mark out of 12. I want 8 today. If you haven't quite got 8, it's 2 for that. You can save yourself with that extra challenge, but it was so tough. it's the past tense, and we've looked at this past tense. It's a motion verb, so you use être, and then you need to agree. So you need le week-end dernier, elles sont, they are, allées, extra e because they're feminine, extra s because they're plural. That's what you need today. Elles sont allées. If you got this, I'll give you 1 mark for elles sont, knowing to use être rather than avoir, then 1 mark for aller, and then an extra mark for the ES agreement. So 3 marks available, guys. A really good effort if you did our extra challenge today. J'adore ça. Alors, bon effort, mes petits. Add up your total. If you've done well, brilliant. Let's carry on with this lesson. If not, if you really struggle with this, maybe you need to spend some time practicing. Why don't you go look at last lesson and then come back and start this lesson on the next slide. Les autres, on y va. Alors mes petits, so you know the vocabulary for music, and we've had a little look at the different tenses in that vocab test. Now that is what this lesson centers around, because next week when you do assessment to get the top grades in year 9 and to get the top grades at GCSE, you have to be on top of your past, present and future. You have to recognize the difference between them, and eventually you'll have to actually use that. It's so important. It's such a big part of the GCSE. So we're going to do an activity today that's just like, it's like the closest thing I can get to the hardest activity on your reading assessment next week without actually cheating and showing it to you. So we're going to have a look at it together. We're going to break it down. I'm going to talk about tactics. And the most important thing for you to get a top grade this next assessment, to get a level 4+, you need to recognize these 3 tenses. Donc, listen to me. Let's go through how it's done with our next activity. It's on your sheet. It's just on the other page. Just scroll the page down et regardez la feuille. Et voilà mes petits. Donc, ce qu'il faut faire avec le texte. Première chose à faire, il faut prendre 3 couleurs différentes, d'accord? 3 couleurs. J'ai utilisé rose, voilà, pour le passé. J'ai utilisé bleu pour le présent et j'ai utilisé vert pour le futur. Donc, activité 1. Avec les couleurs que vous avez choisies, il faut souligner, voilà, les verbes qui sont les mots en gras. Et seulement les mots en gras. So, mot en gras means word in bold. So, pour moi, not in bold. Les collés trayons-yeux, none of that's in bold. Alors, j'adore. Alors, pour activité 1, il faut décider. Ici, j'ai j'adore. Est-ce que j'adore est passé, présent ou futur? Let me think of my rules. So, if it's in the past tense, I'd have to have the have and there be an E with an accent on this verb. Neither of them, so it's definitely not in the past. If it was the future, it would say I'm going to do it. What's the French for I'm going? Je vais, and then our infinitive. It doesn't have either of those things, so j'adore means I love, and if you love something, if you say I love, that's the present tense, so colour it in blue. Voilà, alright. Normalement le week-end, je fais, same thing again. There's no have, there's no past participle, there's no je vais for the future, so these two are present. So, activité 1, prenez 3 couleurs et décidez passé, présent ou futur. Et voilà, this is what you've got for the first one then, exactly what I've just explained. Alors, pour activité 2, dans le texte, il y a les 8 phrases que je vous ai données ici. Il faut chercher dans le texte comment dire I listen to a bit of everything en français. Comment dire I'm going to buy en français, chercher dans le texte pour le vocabulaire. Et activité 3, c'est le plus difficile. Now this is where our extra challenge kicks in, because you can do this in English or you can do a proper GCSE activity and try and answer in French. If you try and answer in French, that is really tough. That is extra challenge only. I advise you to answer in English. If you want to have a go at answering in French, bravo, let's do it. So, I've written the question in French and English. Il faut répondre aux questions soit en anglais, soit en français. C'est à vous de décider de répondre en anglais ou en français pour défi additionnel. Alors mes petits, right guys, I've given you 10 minutes for this. So when you put me on pause, for your 10 minutes. Work through this activity. So we're highlighting past, present, future. You're finding those verbs in the text, and then you're seeing if you can answer those questions with an extra challenge if you want it. In 10 minutes, restart the video and I'll go through the answers. It's going to be tough today, guys. Remember, this is as close to the assessment I can get. Bon courage, mes petits. Put me on pause. On y va. Allez. Alors mes petits, right guys, so let's go through the answers for activité 1. For each word en gras, which means our words in bold, you had to decide whether it was past, present or future. This is what you'll need to do in the assessment. So let's have a look. The first paragraph is all the same tense. It's all the present tense. Let's have a look. So my passion is music. I listen to a bit of everything. Every week I download... There we go. Every week I download songs on my MP3 player because I love listening. Now this looks different to the others, doesn't it? But it is still in the present tense because I love listening. We've just used 2 verbs together. Alors, this paragraph is all the present tense as well. So we've got j'habite, c'est, and je vais. This one again looks different. On peut écouter. We learned on peut last module. It means one can. So where one can listen to all sorts of music is still in the present tense. Alors mes petits, this is where it gets a bit different. We've got l'année dernière. Now this is your marker. This is how you know things are going to be different. Donc l'année dernière means last year. And then I've got on est allé. One went to a concert. All of these are the past tense. On a vu un groupe de salsa de Cuba. So on a vu, one has seen. I've got the have, and then I've changed this. This is one of our regulars. Do you remember? And fait vu, bu vu. You know, remember it. That is what we've got here. You need to remember. And then été is was. So the atmosphere was fantastic. And then nous avons dansé. We have danced. I've got the dance. I've got the have. And then ER verbs change from E with an accent. Tu la soirée, all night. C'était le top du top. C'était, it was, all in the past tense. Et puis, this is the module where they mix it up a bit. So, demain soir. This is your marker. What does demain soir mean? Tomorrow night. So if you're talking about tomorrow night, it's got to be in the future. Look at our verb changes. Je vais aller, qui veut dire je vais on its own means I'm going. So you add an extra verb, an infinitive after. Je vais aller. I'm going to go to a concert that Abd al-Malik, who's it's like a singer of spoken words. Dr. Odebemi likes him. Qui est un de mes chanteurs préférés. Then it goes to je le trouve. What tense is this in? C'est présent. I find him really great. Donc, la semaine prochaine, we've got another marker here. La semaine prochaine is next week. So what tense is this? Look at the similarities. I'm going to buy. Je vais acheter son nouveau album. Voilà. And then je suis is I am a massive fan of his music because I love the rhythm and the words. There we go, guys. So, did you recognize the verbs in these different tenses? When it comes to your assessment, this is exactly how they're going to trick you. They're going to put different things in different tenses. You've got to be able to recognize our past, present and future. Alors, so guys, after doing that, you will have been able to look for this vocabulary. Let's go through it all. I listen to a bit of everything. J'écoute un peu de tout. That's a really nice line. And un peu de tout is a really nice little phrase to remember. You can use that in all sorts of different contexts. I download, say, je télécharge des chansons. Voilà. Télécharger is our verb to download. If you want to get good at French, put your phone in French. My phone's in French. And you'll learn all this vocabulary like télécharge and things like that. One can listen. On peut écouter. One went. On est allé. You could also say nous sommes allés as well. Remember, on means one, which can mean we as well. Alors, 5. One saw is one of our irregular verbs. On a vu. The atmosphere was, to say the atmosphere in French, you say l'ambiance était. Same thing in English. You can use the word ambience, change the A to an E, and that means like atmosphere or the feeling in a room or a place. I'm going to go as in our future. Je vais aller. I'm going to buy. Je vais acheter. Give yourself a mark out of 8 for this. Excellent effort on this activity. Alors mes petits, I know loads of you would have gone on to the extra challenge. I've just done the answers in French, so I'll translate them as we go along. Donc, question 1, Lucas aime quel genre de musique? La réponse, un peu de tout. All you need is this phrase, un peu de tout, which means a bit of everything. If you've listed them and gone through it like I have here, that's fine as well. Give yourself the mark. Numéro 2. Qu'est-ce que Lucas fait le 21 juin chaque année? La réponse, il va à la fête de musique en ville. So he goes to the music festival in town. Numéro 3. Est-ce que Lucas est allé l'année dernière? So now it's in the past tense. So if you're answering in French, you have to do that in the past. Have you had a go? So you need to say he went. Il est allé à un concert. So he went to a concert. It was called Musique du Monde, the music of the world. Numéro 4. Again, I know it's in the past tense because we have to have, and then faire changes to fait. Qu'est-ce qu'il a fait ici? What did he do here? Il a vu des groupes, il a dansé. You can have either of those or both of them. Alors, 5e. Où est-ce qu'il va aller demain soir? Now, if we're talking about demain soir et il va aller, we need to talk in the future, so we can reuse il va aller and then add where he's going. Il va aller au concert. And then numéro 6, pourquoi est-ce qu'il est méga fan de Abd al-Malik? Il adore le rythmique et les paroles. That would be the perfect answer. Right, guys, well done if you got into our extra challenge activity. Give yourself a mark out of 6. A brilliant effort. If you answered in French, even better. Et voilà, right guys, a really good effort today. This has gone through the music vocabulary and hopefully it's helped you a bit with that level 4 target. You're looking at different verbs and you're thinking about what tense they're in. If you want to practice on these tenses, all videos are on YouTube for the different ones. They're aimed at GCSE and A-level students, but you are definitely good enough at the end of year 8 to have a little go and listen to watch this high level. All of that is available to you. Assessment will be next week, so get your planners out, everybody, to help you prepare for the assessment that's coming, and it's going to be really, really tough. You've got your revision homework here, so I will have attached on Frog the module vocab sheet. I want you to look through it, make sure you know every word on that. If you don't want to use the vocab sheet, every word for this module is on Memorize. Get on it. You can know every word on that exam paper if you've done it and worked hard and Memorize. Then I've given you a little reading that's really tough, and then I've given you some key questions to think about. All these key questions, some of them will be on your real exam. You've had these before, you know what to do. There's been some brilliant efforts with this. Sometimes when I mark people's homework on this, they've done like 3-4 pages of detail to answer these questions. Other people have done like a rubbish sentence. Guys, get the most out of this. Look at these questions. Some of them are coming your way. You'll have to email me your writing assessment for marking, so make sure you work hard and it is good. Right, guys, that is all for next time. Any questions of that, please email me. It gets boring during lockdown. I'll be happy to talk to some of you, not you, Ollie. So guys, make sure we're all done. Excellent effort today. Merci mes petits. See you next lesson. Au revoir.